I think you guys have just like opened my mind up to realizing if you don't start now, all about getting the reps in. You say it all the time. If you don't start now, you're literally never going to get anywhere you want to be. So I just started. I just started talking about them more. I started posting the messages. I love now talking about them. I've had these gifts in my back pocket for the last 3 years of my life. Like, I feel like they're just being born. But like, I've had this whole idea for the past 3 years, and I'm just excited to finally be working towards my big goal.
Welcome to Modern Happiness, where we believe happiness is a choice. Our goal is to share how we and our high-performing guests choose happiness, covering topics such as fitness, mindset, relationships, business, and much more in today's world. Here are your hosts, Matt Mahalik and Taylor Sleaford.
Okay,
I'm good.
yeah,
I'm
okay.
ready.
I'm good.
I'm ready.
It was good.
Yeah.
Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Modern Happiness. And let's get ready to rumble. We have a very, very special guest today. Matt, would you just introduce her?
We have
I'm
such a
jazzed
special
up.
Oh my
guest today.
God.
We have Madeline DeVico on, otherwise known as Living Madly.
Boom.
Maybe Bad Madz. The ultimate hype woman, lover of plants, gratitude warrior.
Oh my God.
Ultimately, she is just a gift from the universe.
Stop.
But
wow.
best of all, drum roll please. She is our brand new producer.
Womp.
Nickname
Let's go.
Deuce. I'm calling her Deuce from now on.
Yeah.
She hates it, and that's why it's
The
sticking.
deuce.
Yeah, I am the big deuce.
Maddie, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
Hell yeah.
Very excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
We're
Thank you
hap-
for everything.
I love it. Just gratitude everywhere, always.
Yeah.
We're happy to have you on the best day of the year.
The best day of the year. April 18th.
Oh,
Best day of
man.
the year
Boom.
yet.
2 days before Matt's birthday.
2 days before my birthday.
Wow.
420.
Yes.
Let's go.
The big level 31.
Level 31. Yeah. Very pumped about it.
Very, very.
That's huge.
Very, very pumped about it. Yeah.
Go
It's
play
another
some
year.
golf, a little top golf to ring in the
Yeah. Oh, we're going to get
new
wild.
age.
I am so good at top golf. Like,
Are you?
You have no idea.
What, in regular golf?
Regular golf I can hang, but top golf is like my jam.
Well, let's
Definitely.
play some regular golf this summer.
Yeah.
I'm stoked about it.
I was actually
Absolutely.
the first female on my high school golf team, like, to complete a full season. Yeah, and this was like years ago, and we didn't have a golf program, so I was just with all the boys all the time. But now here we are. I don't even know when I graduated high school. I'm not sure, but they have like a women's golf team now because once I started, it was
Wow.
Just when you think you know a person,
Yeah.
you find out all
That's-
kinds of stuff. This is incredible.
That really is incredible.
it was fun.
I hate to do this as we
ahead.
just started the podcast, but I just noticed it. You got a poppy seed?
I
Right there.
love you
Yeah.
for telling me that.
We can't have that. That's like how you know someone's your
Do you
friend,
think
know?
the camera can pick it up though?
Definitely not, but it's going to distract me for the next hour or
Okay,
so.
I'll get it out.
Okay.
Oh, look at it.
Yeah.
Look at that. Raw and unedited,
Do we need a
folks.
pause?
I don't even know. I feel
Or
like
we
I
just
need
roll
to
with
go
it.
get floss.
Adam's got
Oh my
toothpicks.
god, all the wait, it's still there. What?
All right.
Sorry guys.
Maybe we'll call timeout. I couldn't help it. So we'll be right back.
And welcome back, folks.
Maddie is poppy seed free, so we're
Yeah,
we're
we're
ready
good.
to go now.
We're good.
Awesome, guys. So we're super excited to have Maddie not only on this podcast, but as part of the Modern Happiness team. We've got a lot of good stuff in this episode. First and foremost, we want to introduce Maddie. Give you guys a chance to get to know her. She's going to be behind the scenes, helping us grow. She's been a good friend of ours, incredible mindset, and she's also got some great ideas to help us grow the podcast. And then she's going to be doing producer things behind the scenes, which
Yes.
then leads us to, we want to talk about our mission later
Yes.
today. And all of our goals, and more importantly, how you guys can help us with those goals. So first, to get to know Maddie, we're going to do a little rapid fire. And I will start us off. So, Maddie, where are you from and where do you live now?
I am from a very small town. It's called Cape May Courthouse, New Jersey. And I currently live in Denver, Colorado.
Best place on earth.
Best place on earth.
Yeah, we all agree.
Yeah.
What is your favorite thing to do for fun?
Great question.
Collect rocks.
Collect rocks, stare at plants.
Yep. Everything
Like,
you do on your
literally,
Instagram story. It's like,
yeah.
Film
rocks
the
and
growth
plants.
of plants.
Yes, film the growth of plants. Plants are awesome. I could hang out with them all day. I have over 60 houseplants, so I'm pretty occupied.
Yeah, it's
all the
incredible,
time.
but you can feel it. It's a good energy in this house.
Yeah,
We're
it's
recording at our house right now and love it here.
It's like growth everywhere.
Yeah,
It's cool. So yeah, that's my favorite thing to do.
love it.
Okay, Maddie, most used emoji.
Wow. Oh, I really like the upside down smiley face. The like,
Okay.
uh-oh, I don't even know.
Yeah,
I don't-
what does that actually mean?
Dude, exactly.
Whoa, it's kind
I
of
know
like
when to use it, but I
weird.
couldn't describe like when I would use it.
I know, I
but
use it-
you just know when the moment comes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a good emoji.
Yeah.
Man, well,
That's a good answer.
I can't wait to get one of those from you.
Yeah. Awesome. What is your walk-up song?
Ooh, great question.
They all are.
Love
yeah.
the
They all
enthusiasm.
are. Sorry.
Hype woman.
Let's say I'm gonna go with Joy Punks by Big Wild. It's
Ooh,
a
Big
good
Wild's
song.
great.
It's a really
Will you sing it for us?
happy song.
Hum it.
There's no words. It's like
Okay.
beep bop boop bop boop beep beep. I literally just
Yeah,
played it for
Nailed
you
it.
guys.
Nailed it. Yeah,
That
was
sounds
it.
like the perfect
It's
song
very
for
like
you.
hype. It's
Yeah.
a good song.
Love it.
It makes me smile.
Okay, what is your favorite book?
Oh, You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. Sincerio? I don't know how to say her last name.
Yeah, I've actually read part of that. It's
That
good
book
stuff.
changed my life.
Yeah?
Changed my life.
Oh,
I felt that.
We'll
There
have
was
to,
guttural.
we'll have to circle
Yeah.
back on that.
Yeah, she's
All right, I kind of hit this with the intro, but do you have a nickname?
Yes, I have a few. People call me Bad Mad Dog, Big Fluff,
And what does your license plate say?
Bad Mad.
Yeah, it does.
People
which
have
is-
been taking pictures of my car and putting it on Instagram. I've been getting like screenshots from like humans that I haven't really interacted. It's
Yeah.
just been funny.
I love that. That's so
Yeah.
cool.
I drive around town in style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's legit. What did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be a professional soccer player. I grew up playing soccer every day, all day. So that was like my goal in life. But that's changed. And I'm not a professional soccer player anymore, or ever.
Yeah.
It's fine.
never
It's
too
fine.
late,
It's
but-
not. It's not for me anymore.
Yeah.
I loved it. I love soccer. But I'm over it.
Yeah, it no longer serves you. That's
Yeah.
great.
Cool. What is your superpower?
I would say getting people to feel so comfortable around me that they'll just tell me anything.
Ooh, who's
Oh
gonna
my
be doing
God.
the interviewing here?
Wow.
I know.
Yeah.
Let's find out.
Yeah.
I know.
That's good. That's a great superpower.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
I'll like be talking to the girl at the grocery store and she'll just like all of a sudden unfold and tell me like what happened last night and all this drama and I'm just like, oh boy, here we are.
Yeah. Do you feel like that's a lot to carry it?
No, I don't think so. Because I always just give back like motivating, supportive advice.
Yeah.
I just try to listen. Like you said, Taylor, people love to talk about themselves. So on last week's podcast. So I just take it all in, listen, tell them what I think they could do to, I don't know,
Yeah, that's great.
I
think,
just fucking listen.
yeah, it's one of my mom's superpower for sure.
Being a listener.
Yeah. Being a listener. Get people to open up.
Yeah, I definitely feel that energy about you. You're very easy to talk to. I remember the first day we met. It was just like, oh, I feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I don't think I spilled anything, serious. But
Yeah.
definitely feel that. Okay, I'm excited to hear the answer to this one. Last rapid fire. What's the best purchase you've made of $150 or less?
My like little selfie stick tripod.
Oh no way.
Oh wow! I thought for sure it'd be a plant.
Plants. I was like,
Oh, well, obviously
I was
that
like, you
is,
got 70 of them around
I
here.
know,
But
yeah.
how can she pick just one? I guess
Right.
what's your favorite child?
But yeah, the tripod's
Yeah.
fun. Oh,
Nice,
don't
I love
know.
that.
I can't tell you my favorite child. They're all my favorites. It's so bad.
it's so funny. I can see Taylor taking notes on our live document, and Taylor writes, "What's your interest in producing?" And I write on my notebook, "Why be our producer?"
Oh my
So
God.
why don't we start there? Why are you so excited?
So maybe just before that,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I would just a little background on Maddie.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
How is she, like, where she is now, where she's been, and then we could dive into that.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, tell us about, who is Maddie? You've done a lot of things.
Yes.
Kind of maybe moving to Colorado, like a brief synopsis of your story.
So, been a lot of places, done a lot of things.
Cool.
Definitely
Great
said
talk.
yes. Well, okay, so this is me. I say yes to everything and anything. I'm learning as I get older. That's not always ideal, but like when I was younger, I was like any opportunity that was thrown my way, I was saying yes to. So, I worked for this small brewery, did a lot of cool things with them. Then I was poached from the brewery to go work for this guy building beer systems. Ended up traveling the country with that, doing that kind of stuff. Very hands-on, laborious work. It was definitely interesting. Quit that job because it wasn't serving me anymore. Moved to Denver. Now I'm just taking it day by day. But I moved here, got what I thought was my dream job, which was being a salesperson at large events, and that was like my jam. I loved talking to people, obviously, so I was a killer saleswoman. COVID happened, shit got shut down, I lost my job, blah, blah, blah. Now, I mean, like, how in depth do you want me to go with this answer?
Whatever feels right.
Yeah.
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 So
Let it rip.
So yeah, here we are now living in Denver. When I lost my job, I got super depressed because I literally had no idea where to go, what to do. So for 6 months, I just tried to do what felt good, but nothing was really totally serving me. So I was just kind of all out of whack, moving to this new place, not having many friends, just a small group of them, not being able to explore your new city. It was kind of rough because I like to be out and about doing things with people. And then, met you guys. Things obviously started to go up from there. Did your gratitude challenge, changed my life, literally. I got my actual dream job, which is working for a culinary school. It had always been my dream. I studied nutrition in college, so it had always been my dream to open up my own culinary studio and teach people how to cook and just make food easier for people, because at a certain point in time, I loved food and wanted people to live their best lives through eating good food and all that stuff. And so now I work at a culinary school. I produce culinary classes and hang out with chefs all day, and it's really fun. And then I have my little side hustle. I sell gifts from the universe, which are fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, tell us a little bit about the gifts from the universe.
So the gifts from the universe, they're really cute. I love to give people motivating, inspirational advice and words of encouragement. It's like what I do every day. So I got a typewriter and I started to type these little messages. It was like every time I stepped up to the typewriter, I couldn't write anything else but like hey, you're killing it. You keep doing you. Like, you're a badass. Like, all this stuff. So I fold up these little messages. They're all written on seed paper. I put them in a little bag with a gratitude rock from a crate, like crazy rocks, the rocks that are in this version of my gratitude bags. It's called Wonderstone, and it's from Utah, and it's cool. It's very good for meditating and creative people. So, and then anyway, the message is completely random every single time. I just send these gifts away to whoever needs it the most is usually how it works. And people love them. They're great. They're a fun little gift to get, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's cool.
We typically wait to the end of the podcast, but guys, if you want to see these gifts from the universe,
yeah,
at living.madly, is it?
Yeah, at living.madly.
It's her Instagram, and you can just find it from there, link in bio,
yeah,
right?
They're cute, guys. They're perfect. They're perfect for any person,
They're great for yourself. They're great. They're really great gifts.
Yeah.
And then also just support Maddie.
Yes, support my micro business.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Awesome.
I'd be so grateful.
So Maddie, you've had a lot of different interests. It's interesting. You talked
Yes.
about soccer and your love for food, and now you're doing gifts of the universe. You also have a big passion for thrifting.
Yes.
How do you balance kind of all of that? And as you mentioned, like, I know a little bit more of your story in depth than kind of what you covered, but like, you say yes to things, But you mentioned you did that a lot more when you're younger. Now do you say no to things?
I don't necessarily say no to things, but I say no to the things that I know are not going to serve me anymore. Like, I said yes to this random beer job 3 years ago, and yes, it got me to incredible places, but once I was done traveling with that job, it was boring. It was the same thing every single day, and that's not what I need. Like, I need a lot of things going on. I'm I am all over the place.
How do you decide, or how did you get the clarity to know what no longer serves you?
Just taking a step back and looking at what I was doing. I was not taking care of my health. I was literally getting home from work and just watching TV for hours at a time. I was not doing anything creative at the time. I was just being a bum. I felt like a bum and I hated it. So once I had that feeling, I was like, okay, things need to change. Let's figure out what to change first and then go from there. So
Interesting, because you talked about losing your job and then like just being in a bad place, and then you said, I just started trying things.
right.
So it's almost a bit different than stepping back, or rather, it sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you just kind of dove headfirst into trying new things. What are some of the things that you tried, and how do you feel like that helped you get kind of out of the rut?
What do you mean? Like at what point in my life? Like, what do you mean?
You said this past year, right? You lost your job and
Yeah.
you just were in a rut, and you were like, I tried a bunch of things.
This year, I tried to sell clothes on Instagram. I tried to put myself out on Instagram more. I just tried to do more to set me up for success rather than giving into somebody else's dream, I guess. But I
yeah.
still work for somebody, so that's not the total case. I'm not really. I don't know.
But yeah, you're feeling fulfilled now with your job now.
Yeah.
And what was the job before?
The HelloFresh sales job.
Yeah.
Is that what you're yeah.
Yeah.
I sold HelloFresh.
Yeah.
At large events.
How'd you like that?
It was so fun. I got to just like go to these really cool events
Yeah.
and hang out and talk to people and sell them good food. But it wasn't always something that I wanted to do long term. It was just something that I wanted to learn some skills, make some money, and then go do those things out in the real world for
Yeah.
me, I guess.
Okay.
My
Nice. And yeah, kind of what Taylor said, knowing a little bit of your story, like you tried the thrifting thing. I know when we met last summer, and I was like cleaning out my closet, and I gave you a bunch of clothes, and I was like, all right, this is your thing. Like, I want to support you. So like, here, you can sell the clothes that I don't wear anymore.
Yeah, I tried to sell clothes on Instagram. It was definitely fun. I just love to curate fun, pretty things. So that was a good time, but that was just like me cleaning out my closet, and then it blew up to something like a little bit bigger than I was like ready to handle. And I was like, oh shoot. So, but not my like passion,
Okay.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I love clothes. I love style. I love it.
Yeah.
Still doing some pop-ups with that, just bringing clothes to random places and trading with humans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Clothes. It's weird.
It sounds like the common theme is you got to be doing something creative your whole life. Is that fair to say?
That is what I've learned about myself throughout the past few years. Yes, I have to be doing creative things, which is
what brings us here. So
right.
thinking back on your life, the past year, the past couple of years, you've tried a lot of things. You've tried a lot of different things. You seem to get more and more clarity on what do you want. Do you have a vision for like 5 or 10 years from now? Or
Now
I
do, yes. Now I do, yes.
What does that look like?
I want my own brand. I want Living Madly to be a brand. I want to sell gifts from the universe. I want to sell artwork from other creators. I want to sell all different kinds of like little goodies for people to send to their friends. But mainly I want gifts from the universe to kind of blow up. In 10 years, I wish to have a team of people who all have their own typewriter, who all love to hound rocks, and we like go away on vacation and get Airbnbs in these crazy destinations, and we write messages from the universe all day, every day, and then go find rocks.
I love it.
Hell yeah.
That's
let's
the goal.
go.
That's
I
the
love it.
dream.
Man, guys, this is incredible. I help people with goal setting for a living. and 90% of the time, nobody is that clear on their vision.
Oh, I write it down.
And I, abracadabra, with my word, I create. Heard it here first, folks. I know this is going to happen far sooner than 10 years from now.
I know. I'm hoping it does too.
Yeah, but just speaking that out and having that vision is going to propel you. I'm stoked. This is exciting stuff.
Yeah, I love it. And I think this is kind of a neat question where the past few weeks, I'd say about 2-3 weeks maybe, you have gotten really consistent on your Instagram and have been on your stories more, showing people gifts in the universe. You said earlier that like you'd always been trying to do that, but just never really was able to be consistent. And now you are on like a nice hot streak, and I see it. It's going to keep going. So what inspired that? Like, I know people, this is what I do, right? And I help people build their brand on Instagram and stuff and social media. And people have they have a really hard time doing the things I tell them to do, which is like get on your stories, build that brand, tell people your story, tell people what you're up to. I'm making these gifts from the universe, go buy them. And the moment you did that, you sold what, 40, 30, 40?
Yeah.
So how did you just step into this? Like, I'm consistent now.
The Modern Happiness podcast helped me a lot.
Oh, baby.
Watching your stories, Matt, I'm not even gonna lie. You have inspired me to do the damn thing, to put it out there, to tell people what I want to do, where I want to go, and all this fun stuff. I don't know. It's fun talking about your passions once you know where you want your passions to go.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Was that Graham?
Yeah.
Graham, thank you so much, Graham.
Graham is just working on his army crawl.
Graham was so nicely crawling underneath the camera to not get in our shot.
What a guy.
Yeah.
Definitely wasn't distracting at all.
He's a dreamboat too, right, Maddie?
He's a dreamboat. He's the bomb.
Yeah.
He's my man.
Awesome. Well, happy to hear that it's helped you.
Yeah.
But of course, it's, we can only do so much. Donald Miller, who we'll reference later, but, part of what we're here doing is just the guide. You're the hero of your story. And so it's ultimately you have to do the thing. Like, we can inspire as much as we can. So was there one thing that stuck out that maybe we said or?
I don't know if it was one thing. It's kind of been a bunch of different things. I think you guys have just like opened my mind up to realizing if you don't start now, it's all about getting the reps in. You say it all the time. If you don't start now, you're literally never going to get anywhere you want to be. Mm-hmm. So I just started. I just started talking about them more. I started posting the messages. I love now talking about them. I've had these gifts in my back pocket for the last 3 years of my life. Like, I feel like they're just being born, but like I've had this whole idea for the past 3 years, and I'm just excited to finally be working towards my big goal.
Yeah. And how does it feel? So again, we talked about this.
Exhilarating.
And building your brand, like,
dude, it's awesome.
And like, how are people been responding?
Oh, incredible. People love it. I mean, it's definitely not for everyone. That's fine. I would hate to be for exactly. Yeah. But like at least once a day, someone will DM me or be like, dude, I resonated with this so much. Like, this is incredible. Or the other day, I literally posted something about, quitting your job and like, if you're not happy where you are, make a goddamn change. And instantly somebody called me and she goes, this is so crazy. I literally just put my 2 weeks in after talking to you in Colorado. Like, I've never wanted to just live my life more. I hate what I'm doing, so I'm doing it. And I was like, sick. Like,
let's go.
Sick. That's so awesome. Yeah. So it's resonating with people. It's so fun to like be social on social media and get the feedback and start conversations and all this. Yeah. It really jazzes me up.
It's great. This is one thing I'm at the point in my course now where we're talking about marketing and stuff. And a lot of what I do is help people like with direct outreach and starting those conversations, being social on social media.
Yeah. And
it's like, listen, yes, you're going to get ghosted by people if you're just randomly reaching out, and that's fine. But the thing is like, when you reach out to someone who needs your help, they're going to be so happy you reached out because they've been looking for something. And I work with personal trainers, and it's like these people who have been trying to take control of their health, but just whatever excuses, not the right time in their life, all these things, don't have the education. And when you show up and you resonate with that person, like you said, you're not going to be for everyone, and that's okay. I'm probably too much energy, maybe too weird for some people, and that's fine. But the person, for me, who's a personal trainer, and I drop in their DMs, and they're like, yeah, dude, I've been like struggling. I've been making $3,000 a month. Like, I can't keep doing this. And it's like, cool, I can help you. And that's the people, like, that's why we show up and we do the work.
Right.
Yeah, I love that.
It's so great.
I love this so much, and this is so much synchrodestiny around this whole message, and Maddie, what you're doing, and now being a part of the team. Because I think back a year ago, Matt and I became best friends during COVID and quarantine, and it started by actually, Matt had this idea we would FaceTime every morning. Like, what are you trying to get done? It's supposed to be like 5 minutes. It ended up being like an hour, just to because we didn't have schedules. We didn't have places to be. Right. And then we'd have, we'd hang out. We'd have hour-long phone calls, 2-hour-long phone calls, like just going for walks. And we had this similar mindset, and we started these conversations. We're like, we just want to share this with people. And ultimately, like everything you just said, Maddie, is why we started the podcast. And we're going to dive into that mission a little bit. But it's so cool to hear that you are doing what you want. We helped you a little bit along the way, but I love what you said about just starting. And so many people, it's like, yeah, they set a 10-year goal 10 years ago, and they haven't done anything for it, And I think about, I saw something posted recently about like, if 5 years ago, if you invested this much into Tesla or Bitcoin or like whatever it is, you'd have this much money, and your life is the same way. If you just maybe you could have started 5 years ago, but let's start tomorrow,
right?
And you'll get so much closer. So moving into that, let's talk about producing.
Yeah,
I want to hear about, you've had a passion for this.
Yes.
And then coming on board with us, like.
Oh, it's been great. Well, I love podcasts, and for the longest time, I've wanted to have my own podcast, something. I have all the equipment. It's really funny, but never took the leap. But after hearing you guys and your mission, I love producing things. I love being behind the scenes. It's like it's a passion of mine. I produce cooking classes right now. It's so much fun. But so after hearing your guys' first episode, I was just so sold, because this podcast is going to change so many lives, and I just want to be a part of it and help the growth and the team and you guys just be able to thrive being you guys. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work doing a podcast,
Yeah.
So I just love to help facilitate and want to I'm a facilitator. I just want to help.
Yeah, I think it's so great because, I'm like, right now I do a lot of the editing because that's just my background. I have experience with the video and all that stuff. So I do all that work, and Taylor just goes out on dates while I'm editing our podcast. And but
he doesn't resent it at all.
No, not at all. Yeah. I actually love doing it. And so with me, spending some nights, spending a few hours editing the podcast, getting the video and all this stuff, and upload it to YouTube and all this stuff, and I'm like, I can't wait for the day where I don't have to do this.
Right.
But you're here. You're like, I would love to do that stuff. And it's just so funny how we all have our different like loves in life, and whatever that might be for you. But it's like, it's just so interesting to me that anyone would want to sit here and go through the video and make the Instagram clips. And where I'm like, get this off my plate, please.
I know. It's like my favorite thing. I love recording. I do it for Instagram. I do all these crazy videos. It's fun. I still have so much to learn. I'm definitely not a professional, but if I can help, not yet. Exactly. I'd love to help.
You had mentioned you'd been wanting to do your own podcast, or even when we sat down, you were like, I've had other friends who've like done podcasts, and then it,
fizzled out
to 5 episodes, and you're like, I just have wanted to do this for years. And like you just said, like I align so much with your message and everything. So I'm curious, is that a goal you've written down? Is it just something you've been speaking into the universe forever?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's not a written down. Maybe I have it written down somewhere, honestly. Yeah. I have 13 books that I've written. I write a lot.
Wow.
I write every day. So I have a lot of things that I've written down, but I'm just grateful to be here now.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's cool. It's cool that it all happened.
Yeah, it's very much, right place, right time. And it's interesting Matt talks about that because, Matt likes editing videos or photos. And I look at that, I'm like, that sounds terrible. I know you don't do it as much anymore, but like that's kind of the goal. And it's funny because I talk with clients a lot about, you know, doing what you love. And I recently put up a bunch of polls over the last week on Instagram about, you know, do you believe you can do what you love and make good money, or your passion or whatever? And there's been a lot of cool conversations. And I think this is a good example that sometimes you have to do things you maybe don't love to get where you want to go long term. And that's true for your story, Maddie, where you just tried some things and you got more clarity. And for Matt and I, like, we decided to start the podcast knowing like, hey, we're just going to show up and we're going to be consistent, and we have full-time jobs, and this, you know, we're going to do the best we can, but we're going to keep showing up. And now it's, you know, happening synchronistically, where it is kind of a big time commitment, definitely, you know, more for Matt doing all the behind the scenes stuff. Which, you know, again, is interesting for him to take the time to teach me when I have like no background. But that's what's so cool. Like, aside from just, this is something you enjoy, Maddie, you're passionate about. And that's why it works so well, is like also like your mindset, like your values and your goals and how you want to change the world is in alignment with us.
Exactly.
And if it wasn't, you wouldn't be a right fit.
Right.
You know, but we everything is connected. And so obviously it's very cool that you want to learn and do the producing stuff, but like, honestly, who you are as a person is so much more why you're here than anything else.
For sure. Yeah, definitely.
That's awesome.
So should we talk about the greater, actually, before we get into the greater mission, do we want to shout out our donut sponsor today?
Oh my God, yeah.
Unofficial donut sponsor.
Yes, I went to the Doughnut Club this morning. An awesome, awesome place. I got some vegan, healthy-ish
They're vegan?
They're vegan.
Never would have known.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Literally. They're good. I got some blueberry with a glaze, lemon poppy seed with glaze.
The donut shop.
The Doughnut Club.
Sorry,
Yeah.
the donut club.
It's
okay.
off of Blake Street in Denver.
Yeah,
in
check them
RiNo.
out. Big fan
Yes.
of this blueberry with a glaze.
Oh yeah, so good.
They're delish.
So
And the guy
delish.
who works there is so nice. He was so nice this morning. I almost
Good,
left
we
my
love-
credit card there, actually.
We love supporting the local
Yeah.
homies. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Yes.
awesome. All right, so Taylor, you wanna get into it and talk about really our ultimate mission and, you know, why
we are here.
why we want Maddie here, why we're growing
Yup,
the team
yup.
and everything. So take it away.
Sick. So to preface this, if you haven't already, definitely check out our episode 1. Happiness is a choice. And really, this has evolved organically and naturally. You know, Matt and I became good friends, and we had very similar mindsets, and we do different things, but we like really believe in helping people become the best version of themselves and changing the world. And we have cool conversations, and we've learned so much that we're like, man, we want to share this with people, and we want to interview other people to share their stories and continue to learn, which is why we started the podcast. And we really have a greater mission. It's not just like to make money or like, you know, what maybe other podcast is like. We just believe that there's a message out there, and we want to help you guys, and we build a community. So as we were thinking about this episode, and we got coffee with Maddie last week to talk about the podcast and her role, and she came with some bomb ideas that are coming soon and how we can grow. So we really felt like this was a good opportunity. Like, this is the team. We are now 3 people, and you are the 4th, being the
Yes.
listener, and you are going to help us grow this mission, and we want to help you. We want to interact with you. So, yeah, we're going to dive into like really what is our mission, what is our purpose, and kind of wrote some things out. The writer in me put some things together, and we went over it earlier today. So I'm just going to read you guys some thoughts. So Donald Miller is a author, and now he talks a lot about branding, but he said it best when he described a story as simply this: a character who wants something and overcomes conflict to get it. And our lives are one big story filled with many chapters. And we believe that you can get whatever you want if you are willing to overcome the conflict in your way. And if we get more specific, we believe you have a story with a specific purpose. And a big part of that purpose is doing what makes you happy. We should also say that your ultimate purpose will come true when it's what's best for you and what's best for the rest of the world. Deepak Chopra describes this as any reality is within your reach as long as it's in alignment with the universe. And we believe that when you show up as the best version of yourself, you will become unstoppable in all aspects of your life, from business to relationships to health and fitness. Being unapologetically you is what is best for you and the people around you, which is why happiness is so important. And the reason that we started this podcast, we want to share our own experience and interview our guests on how to become the best version of yourself and choose happiness. So this is truly a passion project, and we have a vision to change the world one life at a time. And our mission is to help people leave the status quo and start making choices that lead to a happier life by taking action to realize their goals and inspire the people in their life to do the same. So, in order to do that, we need your help as a listener. We couldn't do this without you. The more you can share our podcast, tell you what you want to hear, and connect us with next level guests, the more we can grow this mission. And so we have big plans for Modern Happiness, starting with the local Denver community as the heart of our mission. We want to cultivate a community of happier humans who share a common bond of wanting to help others live authentically and inspire the people around them. So essentially, we want to grow this message to equip, inspire, and cultivate community.
Boom.
Amen. I love it. I think the biggest thing there is like, if I said this in our purpose podcast, but if we can inspire you to just, and I think you'll hear this from all our guests, right? If you can do what makes you happy, it's polarizing. It's going to, not only will you be happy, but that's the way you can start to change other lives. Just doing what you love and finding an alignment there. I know when I moved out here to Denver to be a personal trainer, and I went from making $85,000 as a civil engineer in New York City to making like $20,000 a year as a personal trainer here, just starting out, I was never happier. I was so happy because I was doing what I loved. It wasn't about the money. And now here we are, and I'm projected to have a really good year, making more than I ever was as an engineer. But it's all because I just kept doing the things that made me happy. And it went from personal training to photography to, where I am now as a business coach. But just following those, that's kind of what I was asking you, Maddie, before about like, what were you trying? Because ultimately it was things that you enjoyed. Right. And yeah, maybe it wasn't the selling clothes on Instagram, but you had to try that so you would know.
Right.
And now it's led you here to something you do love doing, and to be our producer and all the other selling gifts from the universe.
Right.
But it was all meant to happen, and you just kept following what
was making me happy.
Made you happy. Yeah. So
that is what I was doing during that time. Sorry.
I was trying to get you there by asking questions.
That's why I knew. I was like, where's he going with this?
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you're happy, when you're living your best life, you inspire so many people, like whether you know them or not, like it's a ripple effect.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah. It's really polarizing. Like you could just imagine random people that maybe you meet on the street. Like, have you ever been somewhere, maybe a market, or you're on vacation, and you just bump into a stranger and you have a conversation, and it's just like the energy is just so uplifting. And it's the same way. Like when you focus on yourself, you focus on what makes you happy, you're going to be the best version of yourself. And if you're the best version of yourself, you're going to be successful. Right. And it's like you said, Maddie, earlier, we want to help you find that, because we believe happiness is a choice, and we want you to help figure out what makes you happy, and Matt, you talking about moving here as a personal trainer, like you were happier because you were actually doing what you wanted, not what you thought you were supposed to doing or what the world tells you to do. And ultimately, this podcast is for our former selves. Like younger Taylor needed this message. And it took a lot of things to kind of figure it out. And I'm still figuring it out. And that's why we continue to interview guests, because like I still have more to learn. However, if I can do it, you can do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're not so special. Well, we're all so special.
Yes.
And that's the point. But like you said, yeah, if we can do it, anyone can do it. So, so I think we're starting here with the podcast. This is kind of step one and the forever step, really, with the weekly podcast. But like Taylor said, starting here at Denver with the local Denver community. And we want to start to get more community events together, and then eventually getting to live podcasts where we can interact, have a few drinks, talk with you guys, and see, where you're at in life, and just have good conversations and build a community. You want to talk a bit about like some community event ideas?
Yeah. So basically, obviously it's a great opportunity to introduce Maddie, and we've had some incredible conversation, hearing her feedback on the podcast, and then how can we grow? And, really we're here to tell you that like the only reason we are here is because you as the listener, and we want and need your help to continue to grow. And that's really why we're here. This is a passion project. So we just wanted to list out our mission. We talked to you guys about that. And then here's some ways that we're going to do this. So we're going to continue to have weekly podcast. That's a way to grow. And then we also want to have community events. So we want to give back to not only our local community, but we want to help cultivate community. We want to get to know you guys. We also want to connect other people, even if it's through an online platform. So, some things we've talked about is having, park days here in Denver, or a trash cleanup day, or just opportunities to connect, right? It is a cool world where we can connect through social media and we can get to know, and I love how Maddie said it, socialize on social media. And you guys have permission to use social media however you want. It doesn't have to be like this negative thing. And it's so refreshing to meet people in person. So we want to get to know you guys. And then we also are talking about some live recordings, right? So we want to host, maybe not as frequent, but in the Denver community where you guys can come hang out with us. We can speak to you guys.
Bring in cool guests.
Yeah, bring in guests.
Meet the cool guests.
Yep.
Meet the cool hosts.
Yeah. The Q&A.
Yeah.
Ask us all your questions.
Hang out with other happiness homies.
Yeah.
Which is essentially the same thing as the community events. Community events being
Yeah.
a little less formal, like you said, park day, like literally meaning go to the park and we'll play like spike ball and can jam and just like hang out with like-minded people. Same thing, like go for hikes. We just go for hikes.
Yes.
Like I go for hikes all the time. You all might as well come with me.
It's so much more fun with friends.
Yeah.
Everything's better with friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a big part of what we want to do is we want to hear more from you guys. So, this is an open invite. Like, send us a message, send us a DM, like anything and everything on your mind. Like, we want to connect with you guys. So if you have ideas for topics, if there's something you want to hear about, if you know a guest, like we really believe that, it's funny with all these big podcasts and there's, so many out there today. And you think about like Joe Rogan or Lewis Howes and they have all these big guests, but like there's world-class people in our backyard and you are friends with them and we want to connect with them. So if you know anyone, you have any suggestions, definitely connect with us. If you have ideas for community events or you're just, want to grab coffee or a beer, send us a message.
That's right. Love a good coffee or beer. Maybe both.
I was just about to say.
Irish coffee.
Boom.
Let's get it
There
going.
we go.
Some
Wow.
moses. Some man moses. That's beer and orange juice.
Awesome. So we're just going to hit you with some 1-year goals. You want to talk about these, Matt?
Yeah, well, essentially, we want to put our goals out to you all, to the public. We believe, this is a big thing. You called it. I was going to talk about my bike trip. But when I put that on Facebook and told everyone I'm going to ride my bike cross country, there's no backing out. I'm not someone to like let people down or be like not someone who doesn't follow through. So when you put that stuff out there, would you say it allows you to achieve it, or I think it helps you? You kind of get some support.
There's definitely accountability.
Accountability. That's what
I
was
would
looking for.
say it makes it more real. Like without diving way into it, Maddie talked about writing things down. Like there's power to writing it down, and then there's even more power to speaking it out loud, right? And it can be scary, and that's what we want to do because we believe in this, and we want to share it with you so that you guys can help us and also hold us accountable.
Yeah. So I'd say we have 1-year goals. I would say by the end of the year, really. We're in April already, so less than a 1-year goal. But, we want to get this podcast to 1,000 downloads per episode. Again, because that would just help us get our message out there, reach more people, hopefully help them. I know we've gotten good feedback from you guys and saying, this specific episode was helpful. Our last episode with Billy, because he's not an entrepreneur, like really at home for some people and other things like that. So our goal is to do what we can to get this to 1,000 downloads per episode. Maybe that's being guests, and that's what Maddie's here to help us do, is being guests on other people's podcasts, just getting the word out more. So 1,000 downloads per episode is one goal, and then the next one is to host 3 events this year in Denver.
Yes.
And that's what we're super excited for.
Yes.
Yeah, so mentioned a little bit ways that you guys can help us, but some other ways is, definitely if you have or know anyone with a podcast and you'd love to have us on, we would love to get out there. That's a way to get in front of people who listen to podcasts. Reposting us on social media or telling your friends or sending it to your friends is huge. It'll help us get more listeners. And ultimately, if you have any ideas and you believe in the message and you want to help share it, send it to us, whether that's a place to host a community event, people to partner with. Like, we're all about it. We're here for you guys in the community, and we are super excited to see what's to come.
And what you said before too, like, what are you struggling with, or what did you overcome, or things like that. We would love to hear that, and then we could just talk on that, and maybe it will relate to us, maybe something we haven't thought of or whatever. Like, just ideas, abundance. Give us all the things.
All the
please.
things.
Maddie, any final words?
I don't know. I think we covered it all. I'm really excited. I'm really excited to meet everyone who shows up at our community events. It's going to be a great time.
Hell yeah. Yes.
Awesome. So excited for what's to come. Maddie, thank you so
Marg's
much.
on the moon. That's what I have to say.
Marg's on the moon.
Marg's on the
Marg's on the
moon.
moon.
You will, that's actually a goal. Maybe not a 1 year goal.
That's a
but
huge goal.
Marg's on the moon is where we'll be.
Yeah.
Oh, I love a good marg. Is it time for a margarita? It's
Almost.
12:30.
It might be.
Let's go.
Thanks so much, Maddie. Super
you.
excited to have you on the team. Also, guys, go check out Gifts from the Universe.
Yes.
Go follow Maddie.
Living.madly.
On Instagram.
Easy.
Yeah. Purchase a gift from the universe.
Do
Support her.
it, do
She wants to
it.
blow up Living Madly. She wants to blow up Gifts from the Universe. So let's help her do it.
Yep.
You guys are awesome.
We love you, Maddie, and
I love you guys. So excited to be here.
All the
So
love.
much love.
Everywhere,
So much
always.
love.
All right, guys.
Thanks, love.
Until next time. Peace.
Peace.